Good morning and welcome back. I'm Teddy. It's Sunday morning, December 7th, and it's 10:38. I see the mob. I see my moderators, and I see you. Wow, what are we going to get into this morning? It's Sunday. I actually pulled up some tracks that are gospel, and then the track that I just played from comes it's from like cafe music. Yeah. So I can play a little bit of mix in that. But mhm, there's something that was talked about yesterday, not on my show, not on my broadcast. There was a name mentioned. Mhm. And someone took note of it and said, "Who is Macy Thomas?" I thought I would at least throw that out. That name, Macy Thomas. Where did Macy Thomas name come up yesterday? Does anyone know how that name came about? And yes, please remember to hit the like on your way into the bear cave. Good morning. I see Sharon, Viva, Baby Juju, Vicky Black, and who else by name or avatar is in the bear cave. Okay. And please remember to be respectful. I think you will be. Mhm. Does anyone know mhm, or hear the name Macy Thomas? Mhm. By the way, Jennifer, I see you there at the bottom. I didn't recognize your response to Watson when I asked the other day. I said, "Who is the famous Watson?" And you had actually put it in the chat, "My dear Watson." And only if you watch the broadcast would you know what I'm referring to. So, Jennifer, you are the winner for that. Yeah, I was reviewing my chat. I said Jennifer was right on top of that. That is the Watson I was talking about. But back to your response. You're on it this morning already. Said don't know where it came from yesterday, but Macy was an alias used by DR. You know what? I am so glad that I didn't even give any kind of hints because that is a person, you are a person who recalls that I had already talked about Macy. And I went through some documents earlier this morning. And just before I went to bed, I said, you know what? I'm going to just make sure that I write a little note to remind myself to check something out. Yes, let's give Jennifer, yes, his or her flowers. Okay. Yes, the crowns. The let's throw out some hearts for Jennifer. You are on it, Jennifer. Yes, I didn't know you'd be here this morning. Yes. I am so glad you confirmed that. Unwind with Teddy talked about Macy. I don't think I told you the last name, Thomas, but I do have a receipt, and it was an alias used by DR, and I would not say anything I don't have a receipt for. So if somebody is wondering who is Macy Thomas, think no longer. I know who Macy Thomas is. It's just another alias used by Danielle. I have mentioned that she has dozens of aliases. I was not kidding. I just never really told you about that one, but I have a receipt from October the 6th, 2023. I'm not going to tell you unless you know the story how I found that out. But Jennifer remembers Macy, Stacy. Think. Where do we know a Stacy from? Okay, I bet Jennifer's going to tell us who is Stacy or somebody else. Where have we heard the name Stacy? Yes, you can email me at unwindwithteddy@gmail.com. Who is Stacy? And why did I say yes? There is Jennifer again, winning this morning with all the answers to the questions. Macy, Stacy, Tracy. Watch this one, guys. Gracie. Oh, wow. Now, you don't have to say specifically who the Gracie is. Don't do that. Don't necessarily. But what I'm reminding, if you can think back, and I know Jennifer now remembers why I said those 4 names. Macy, Stacy, Tracy, Gracie. What did they all have in common? I think I asked before. I put up even those 4 names. At the center, always, these are aliases. You don't come back and use the same alias, exact alias with the first and last name if it's not you. And it makes sense. Someone asked me, and not the person that you would think. Mm-mm. I'm not going to tell you. But when I saw that, I'm like, really? Where have I heard that name? Macy Thomas. Mm. That would be too much of a coincidence that it not be the same person. Mm. It just makes sense. Should I have said allegedly? I have a receipt. I guess, when you have so many aliases, you just recall, pick one out. But if that one came back as an alias, and it was recycled, is it possible? Is it possible? I'll let you fill in the blank. All right, Jennifer. I didn't even know I was going to talk about this. I know you guys want to hear some more music. I'm going to play some music. Okay. Jennifer says, I know at least two of them and what they were used for. Sings Mr. Telephone Man. There's something wrong with my line. When I dialed a certain number, I get a click every time. Mr. Telephone Man. What are the lyrics? See, I remember that one. I do remember that. I think I got those lyrics correct. Mm. Baby Juju. Baby Juju. October 6th, 2023. Think, 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 think. Why? Why would that name have come up? Why would someone be using Macy Thomas as an alias around that time, specifically October 6, 2023? You almost forgot. Yes, that was where that name came from. Correct. Receipts just don't lie. That's why you keep them. For a rainy day. I don't know if this is necessarily for a rainy day for me. Although, although it just confirms mm, the use of alias names on legal documents. On legal documents, and people want to say things about, well, let's go back to this one. Jennifer has all the answers. Those of us who were around back then know where the name Gracie came from. My. And I thought at the time, I said, you know, is that much creativity to go from, Stacy and Lacey and Tracy and Macy and Gracie, and it's like, why use so many names that are similar? Mhm. Unless it is just some weird coincidence, as people like to use the word weird, and I don't really use that word for some reason. I don't know why I don't like that word. Mm-mm. Yeah. So I will let you guys think for a moment. And let's see, I did have one. I mean, it's Sunday. Let me just play one gospel song. Um, I like Tasha Cobbs. I'll play her.
He knows my name. Yes, he knows my name. He knows my name. Yes, he knows my name. And oh, how he walks with me. Yes, oh, how he talks with me. Yeah. And oh, how he tells me that I am his own. You know my name. You know my name. You know my name. You know my name. And oh, how you comfort me. And oh, how you counsel me. Hey. It still amazes me that I am your friend. So now I pour out my heart to you. Yeah. Here in your presence, I am made new. Oh. So now I pour out my heart to you. I give you my heart, Lord. Here in your presence, I am made new. You know my name. Sing this before we sing. You know my name. You know my name. You know my name. See, you know my name. Oh, oh, how you walk with me. Oh, how you talk with my life, yeah. No, no fight can burn me, no battle can turn me, no mountain can stop me, 'cause you hold my hand. I'm walking in your victory, 'cause your power is within me. No giant can defeat me, 'cause you hold my hand. No fire, no battle can turn me. No mountain can stop me. Why? Because you hold my hand. Walking, yeah, in your victory, 'cause your power, it is within me. No giant can defeat me. You hold my hand. You hold my hand. Fire can burn me. No battle, it's already won. No mountain not gonna stop me. You hold my hand. You hold my hand. I'm walking in your victory. 'Cause your power, it lives within me. No giant defeat me. You hold my hand. Yeah. I don't have to be afraid, no. I don't have to be afraid, no. I don't have to be afraid. You hold my hand. You hold my hand. I'm so in love with you. I'm so in love with you. You hold my hand. You hold my hand. You know my name. You know my name. Say, you know my name. You know my name. Oh, how you walk with me. Oh, how you walk with me. I'm in love with you, Lord. And oh, how you talk just to commune with you. Oh, how you tell I belong to you. That I am your own.
That was from the beautiful Tasha Cobb. Leonard is her full name. You know my name. Mhm. No giant will defeat me because you hold my hand. All right. It's Sunday morning. And thank you so very much. Grace wins 4,000 for the $19.99 super chat. Come on, or comes in somebody. Yes, Lord. hmm So we were talking about the name Macy Thomas and where it might have come from. And someone asked the question yesterday when they saw it, who is Macy Thomas? And when I was reviewing that section and saw that, I said, I know. And good morning. It is to Mimi Twin with the $10 super chat this morning. Thank you. Love this inspirational live. I have a number of songs that I could play from. And I thought, wow, I've been on for half an hour. I thought this was going to be like I'd start right at 10:30. I started 5 minutes or so later, and I was going to wrap it up like 11 o'clock. I thought, okay, this is going to be a half an hour of, coffee and gospel music. And then I thought, you know what, let me just throw that out there. And lo and behold, Jennifer had the answers. Right. Macy Thomas starting the conversation. Thank you so much. Again, Mimi Twin and for Vicky there. Grace wins. So I bet you want to know, Macy, cups of conversations. So I asked the question before you came in. I think it kind of went like this. Um, does anyone recall or know where the name Macy Thomas was heard yesterday? It was something like that. Mhm. Was anyone listening? Did anyone hear the name Macy Thomas? And then Jennifer responded. Let's pull up Jennifer's response. The first response. Oh, wait a minute. This wasn't the first one, but I've had 3 cups of coffee. I'm ready to go. Is that the one? No. I'm looking before that. Oh, that was the question about Macy, Stacy, Tracy. Yeah, you were on it. I'm trying to go back. Yes. So Jennifer's response, don't know where it came from yesterday, but Macy was an alias used by DR. And it's true. It was a name. And then I told you the last name. Macy Thomas was used as an alias October the 6th, 2023. And then I'm saying, would that be a coincidence that it wouldn't be the same Macy Thomas? Could that? That would be highly coincidental. That someone use the name Macy Thomas on another legal court filing and contact a court with that name, Macy Thomas, on behalf of someone else, and without having the actual video here in front of me, because I don't want to pull up anyone's videos or play anyone's videos. No, no, no. MT Gate, yes. Mhm. So I imagine, just imagine, that it makes sense. Doesn't it make sense that Macy Thomas, who used an alias, that's an alias name, mhm, used by DR 2 years ago on a legal document, would come back and that name show up on another legal document that has to do with the court filing and has to do with something about, it's like I want to pull it up so I can be sure. Let's see. I can pull it up so that at least I can speak with some let's put a cover. Let's put a cover. Hang on. Because this now is interesting. Makes it rather interesting. Where's my covers? Let's just go with do we have a coffee cup? We do. Give me a second to go through and see if I have an actual picture. Okay. I may have to make a screenshot. Maybe I didn't. I don't think I did. Let's see. Mute the site. Oh, while I'm waiting, so that we don't have, let's just play coffee music and I can run and see if I can find it. Run on my coffee music. Where is that? So hang on real quick. It's nice music. All right, I have it. So hang on. Let's pull this up with the fair use commentary banner. And let's do it this way. Macy Thomas called asking about case, stated she sent an email requesting, let's see, for copies regarding filings on this case. Was told she was a named, let me see if I can, named in this suit, so that this is why she is requesting copies, informed her would find her, let's see, email to the appropriate clerk to handle. Oh, that was my picture. That's when the police came to my house. Hang on. I was looking at something this morning, and that's blurred out. That is actually the photograph I used in my complaint. You can see the blurred faces. Hang on for a second. So that tells you what I was working on. Let's do this one more time. Because I was moving these photos around, let me just get that out of the way. Let me bring that one back up. Hang on. Bring that screenshot back up and maybe stop moving around, because what happened is I hit that arrow to go to the next picture. Let's see if we can do this once, because I want you to see the entire message. Email to the appropriate clerk to handle her rec. Cannot say when she would receive a copy. Okay, so let's see if I can move this around again. Fair use commentary. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Cups of coffee says, did I say cups of coffee? Yeah, I did. Sorry about that. Cups of conversations. I've already had my cup of coffee. Uh, let's go through this again. It was on 10/31, 2025. You can see the date there on the left. Unrelated case, party contacted court. Macy Thomas called asking about case, stated she sent an email requisition for copies regarding filings on this case. Was told she was a name. So she was told she was a named party, or what is it? Yes, in this suit. So that is why she is requesting the copies, informed her would forward her email to the appropriate clerk to handle her rec. So, unless these clerks are checking and this someone told me again, this is a pattern, okay, that can absolutely be verified, checked, and leaves a digital trail. So if this is not, and this by chance is a different Macy Thomas, it's so coincidental to me that someone is contacting the court with an email saying that someone, let's finish this last line, email to the appropriate clerk to handle her request, cannot say when she would receive a copy. So someone by the name of Macy Thomas, unrelated case party, contacted court, because contacts to the court need to be documented. Either they get documented, in the history file like this, put on the docket, or depending if they're sent to the judge and or request is made so that things sent to the court remain, you guys know the word. It appears suspicious to me. And the only reason I could respond in this way is to tie it in to another legal document that I have in my possession that uses the same Macy Thomas from a Danielle on this platform who is known to use aliases and known to contact and use them on legal documents that would cause me to raise my, like, Macy. Someone said, who is Macy Thomas? I can tell you who the Macy Thomas is that name appears. So if someone wants to argue about it, okay, and someone wants to go and ask the judge about this and cross-reference something, I know who Macy Thomas is on my document. I don't know their legal name yet. So I can't tell you if Macy Thomas is a legal name. I can just tell you that it is an alias from a person who is known to have multiple aliases. Even the judge in my case knows that multiple aliases have been used to evade being named. Hang on. So I didn't want to just come on here. I could have sat quietly. I could have said, no, I'm not going to raise my hand. You see, if people don't know me by now, even if people want to say things about me and, if I have something that can be shared for the truth, then I'm going to do that. That might be helpful. But do y'all think it's a coincidence? Let's see. Jennifer says, UNWINEWITHTEDDY, is there a way you can get a copy of that call? It's very possible the voice would tell us who Macy Thomas is. I didn't tell you on what legal document I have it. Did I? I can tell you 100,000% I have it. So Macy showed up in somebody else's case. That's what I'm saying. Could this be the same Macy? Would it be just so coincidental that this same individual who has a case with somebody, you know, and related to or familiar with, who might want to help somebody get information, maybe by saying they're Macy Thomas? Fair use commentary. If it's not true, if it's a coincidence, people don't mind me talking about it. People wouldn't mind if it were brought out, if the light is shown on it, because then they don't have anything to be concerned about. But I'm just going to say this part. I've been on this platform since what, 2020? There have been other people who have come later, much later, 23, 24. And when they came, I've said to multiple people who have their first run in with DR, I say, that's not her name that they gave you. That's an alias. Oh, that's her name. I say, no. You don't know what you're talking about. Okay. Just wait and see. And then they find out, oh, you mean she wasn't telling the truth to me? When I'm trying, yes, yep, class of 2020. Class of 2020. We are trying to tell the class of 2024 or the freshman class. That's what it would be. The freshman class of 2024. That the graduates or the class of 2020. We have dealt with this individual and we have receipts. And the reason people don't want the receipt shown or talked about it is because somewhere buried in their receipts are patterns. I don't know what I have. I don't. But I do know I have lots of receipts. And now we have a receipt that uses the same name on a legal document. So in a familiar way. So let them argue. Who is this person that called asking about the case named Macy Thomas, stating that she sent an email rec for copies? Who wants copies of information? Who has been on this platform looking into legal documents? I'm not going to use a certain word. I'll let you fill in the blank because I'm only going to state things that I have receipts for, that they can't say that I'm using defamation, that anything, because they're watching and they're listening. And now I'm telling them I have a receipt. And people know, just like the person who put this up, they're from the class, the freshman class of, I think, 2024. The freshman class of 2024 is telling people that they know what this individual is going to do. Can I cue you in on how they know that? They know that because the class of 2020 told them that and used a receipt is why they can be so confident, as if they themselves knew it. They know what they know because of the receipts of the class of 2020. So recognize the class of 2020, because the class of 2020 didn't even could sit back and say, I don't know. I'll let them find out. But I'm not like that. Because when you see patterns and you see things that are truths, somebody analyze this mess, because somebody has to say it. And then let them come back and say, oh, that's not the same. That's a coincidence. Okay. Let's call it a coincidence. Then what if somebody is calling? Y'all need to listen to this one closely. What if somebody is calling? Let's put the coffee cup back up before something else pops up on there. Okay. Let's put the cup. Hang on. As I was working on some things this morning. Where's my coffee cup? So we can just talk about this. And I think it's because Cup said class of 2020. So you kind of started this. We'll give that great idea to Cups, the way she put it. Okay. When I called you cups of coffee. Should we put up the let's see if I can put up the chat, then that way I don't have to go back and forth, because let's see if we can do that. Here we go. Let's put the chat up. Wait a minute. I'm going to switch it. It's going to be all chat. There we go. And for this, I want to just change the background. I don't want these bubbles. It's just me. Okay. So you're not distracted. All right. Good morning. So I was getting ready to say something like, what if someone who has a history of impersonation, and you know they have this history because you have receipts of this history. Wait a minute, not comes with it's Sunday service. Knowing that information is out there that's important to let's say, an outcome of some sort or legal documents that they want to intercept, or like kind of like in this case, like contact, reaching out to the courts, reaching out to governmental agencies, reaching out to hospitals, reaching out to jobs, reaching out. And this is someone who is not afraid to do this because they're anonymous. This is why anonymity needs to come out from behind the curtain, because they've said as long as they remain anonymous, they can do these sorts of things. Why would I say that? Is because I have a receipt of them saying that. Give me a second. I'll be right back. Just want to take a quick moment. See which way, because if I leave my avatar up and put it on the left, then it blocks so you can't see. Is this large enough for you, or I can try to make it, like if I do it that way, that covers it up. Do you prefer that? Or like if I do that without my avatar, I guess, but I want to have my avatar up there somewhere. Let's sorry. Let's just go with this. Is that okay? That way you can see it, and I can read some of these. Let me just do this. Take it back up. So, what do you think about that question? Mhm. Because if a person can remain anonymous, and this is one of the reasons that they enjoy the anonymity, is the access, the power to documents, information without any type of accountability. Because maybe the documents that they are accessing, they wouldn't access those documents if they knew that they could be found out and those documents be traced to a real individual. Does that make sense? Oh, Vicky says, what's best for you? So you see the name. Although I don't really, I want you to see the names of, well, you can hear me. Let's just do this. There you go. Good morning. And now I will just put Online with Teddy. So I have some type of identifier there. How about this? We'll do. That'll solve it, I think. This is one of the reasons, like I said, this is the reason why they want to remain anonymous. Just one of the reasons. It's access, it's power, it's control, it's dominance, it's the inability for someone else to level the playing field. So they can move around in the systems, not system, in the systems. And you don't know the kind of shell games, because even knowing that Macy Thomas has been used as an alias, does that tell you much? It tells you enough to say, this is a pattern. This is what they do. But the person can say, well, you don't know who I am. No, that's what they said. You don't know who I am. but I know who you are. That's an exact quote. You don't know who I am, but I know who you are. You see how that power imbalance is? I can do this to you, but you can't find me. You can't hold me accountable. And I can laugh at you. And I can do these things to you. And I can get access to your information. And you can't report me. You don't know who I am. You can't trace me. You can't track me. But I can manipulate the system and I can find out who you are. And I can contact your family and I can do these things to you. And you'll never be able to hold me accountable. That's why they want to remain anonymous. Shell games, yes. Mhm. Shell corporations, shell companies, accounts, not traceable, not trackable. This only confirms once more how it's being used, how that power imbalance is being used, because from behind the curtain, they can do acts just like this on the court, on the legal system, on the legal process. This is why a ghost, even a ghost to the court, is, it's just, the court can be played. Do people see that? Oh, I heard, I'm not even going to get into some things that are being said out there. Let's just stick with this. Because, see, they want the truth when it is, just like the judge said, the sword and the shield to protect them. So when they want to play on the court, they can use an anonymous name when it benefits them. This is what the judge was trying to show in the docket, ECF 118 and ECF number 75. In the plaintiff is, they're saying doing this, this, and that. No, the defendant is trying to present arguments to the court under an alias, trying to arguments for months and months and months and months, get to argue without establishing who they are. And they are to be believed without a name. And when it suits them, what did they do? They went to the CCB. There's so many examples. So when it benefits them, they can use this alias or that alias. But when called into question, they respond improperly named. That's not my legal name. You can't serve me. I haven't been properly served. Do you see? It's such an imbalance. And now we have a Macy Thomas who contacted another court. I don't know what court that is because I haven't looked. I just, when I saw the name, that's what caused me to pay attention. Mhm. Yes, 230 words. They wanted the judge to hear their perspective, just, you know, like a YouTube perspective. No documentation. And where it was put in the document wasn't allowed. No, they want to be heard. They want to put it in the document so it gets what? A paper trail so that they can just put it out there. Yes, like your name was put into the document, cups of conversations, and they said a lot of things. Some of that I think is still in there and some of it's out. But the thing about that is they put it in multiple times. So in case that document was struck, it still appears. They know exactly what they are doing. This is not something that they haven't planned for. This is actually being done with a purpose. We don't know totally what the purpose is, but they didn't wake up one morning and suddenly get to where they are without some knowledge and without a system taught to them. You don't just wake up and suddenly the knowledge appears. Either you seek out that knowledge, you know, or someone teaches you that. So someone before them knows how to apply these type of methods, I'll say. Methods, because that's what it is. It's a method to stay anonymous. There's a method to obtaining person's information. There's a method that is taught how to impersonate, the right questions to write on a document, the right questions to put in an email so that when a clerk sees it, it looks real. It looks like, oh, yes, there's a person who has been added. This is what they say. And sometimes those things slip through the cracks if you've ever listened to her on a telephone call. When the response has been a pushback, they keep pushing. And then the person on the line says, but, I'm not authorized. Watch what happens. I have this telephone conversation saved because I'm listening and watching for how they move. They just go right ahead with the next question. No, it's kind of like a telemarketer when you're trying to refuse. No, I don't want that magazine subscription today. And you're trying to be pleasant, and that's what the other person is trained to be in a hospital, answering in a call center. No, I want to speak to Dr. X. The person on the other line says, well, Dr. X is not available. Well, someone called my office and said that Dr. X called and said that this is very important that I get in touch with them. And the person says, well, I'm just going to say it again. Could I take your name and number? And I'll make sure that Dr. X gets the information. Then that's when they get a little bit more pushy. Well, who are you? They say. How do I know that the information is going to get to Dr. X? And then what that does, it starts kind of a little bit of an escalation. And the person might raise their voice like, I said before that I can't, I can't just interrupt Dr. X. Well, why can't you? Who are you? Why are you being rude to me? So that's a real example of something that was done during the search for the other members in the Shanquella Robinson. Y'all remember that? When a person was calling hospitals in Mexico and calling people's workplace and trying to get information on Dejanay and the others, because this individual doesn't take no for an answer. That's not very nice to them. They're in control. They want to control the situation. And how dare you tell them that, or ask them who is calling? Who is calling gets a response like, well, you're not doing your job. Kind of like someone telling the judge, you're not doing your job very well. You're not following the law. Questioning the magistrate judge, questioning the district judge. This person, this is what I've been trying to say. They don't like being questioned, not even by a judge. How dare you question me? I don't care that you're the judge. I'm anonymous. You don't tell me what to do. Or even ask questions. How dare you? This person thinks they are above the law. They have huge ego. I wouldn't be saying that if it weren't demonstrated time and time again. And yes, you can play this for the judge. Try to get this in court and say that I'm defaming you. And I'm going to say to the judge, if called into question, Your Honor, I have receipts to back up everything that I'm saying. And this is important, and here's why. Because this charade has been played like a broken record. I'm going to read a comment right here in the middle. That's why, we have it right here. Sharon says, that's why judges have multiple law clerks and paralegals on staff. Several eyes read every word submitted in every case. You see, I'm just kind of learning even more because sometimes things slip through the cracks. And that's why these things are measures are put into place, because we're talking about humans, right? Things happen. I've seen them even in that's why they say time out in surgery and check and verify, and still things get missed. Why? Because human error. That's why. Even checks upon checks upon checks upon checks. Sometimes something critical can slip through. And once in the hands, Once your information gets into the hands of an anonymous person who is using that information or can use that information in a way that they constantly preach about unethical, why can they use it in that way? Is because they're anonymous and they can't be held accountable. And yes, others are doing things, can be doing things in the background. Do you think one person alone is doing this? It seems highly unlikely that a person can be checking on this in real time and making corrections and contacting multiple courts, authorities, be on different dockets, and juggle it all while still having 3 and 4 and 5 hour YouTube videos. When do they get time to sleep? That's the same question that is asked, not just by me, but multiple people, because it seems like a magician is doing this. Because if they have this kind of magic, then people want to know how can they manipulate and be in so many places at once? And yes, Siri says, all while obtaining a PhD. Let me remove that. You'll see it coming up. Let me remove my banner. All while obtaining a doctorate. And Jennifer at the top says, and let's be clear, this is not something the robot could do on her own. Sharon at the bottom says, courts are now using computer programs being developed by judges and courts to search and compare various issues in lawsuits. And do you know how computers are going to be able to? They're going retro back to things, and that's how they are solving crimes, and that's how they were able to solve and find this person recently after 5 years from a January 6th, because they are able now to use AI, because there's so much information that has to be collated, and humans can't quickly enough sort through thousands and thousands of records and get it right. So AI is important. Yes. And yes, it's important to check AI for the correct citations. How much important that I've learned this. Yes. Yes. So AI does contribute, but we can't rely on it 100% to give the correct information. And yes, we have to do our own checking behind it. It's 12 o'clock. I've been on for 125. Had no idea it, Sunday morning was going to go like this, but yes. UNWINEWITHTEDDY@gmail.com. You can email me. As a matter of fact, let me check my email, because you still don't know where she posted. And the name Macy Thomas was from which sender, and documented on October 6th, at 1:36 p.m. I'm looking at the document. Let me look here. My inbox. Something else happened recently. AI legal prompts are being added daily to AI. And thank you for sending your emails. I'll get a chance to read them. It's the afternoon, Sunday afternoon. Mhm. Let's take that banner off of there and go back. Fair use. But it's now time to put this up. Mhm. I'm looking for good afternoon. Where is it? I can throw this out, but we're not getting ready to go into that. Here it is. In advance because it's 12:02. Yeah, getting ready to wrap this up. Let me look at your comments. Again, I'm just going to go up because I've missed a lot of them. Um, someone else did come in and say where that Macy Thomas came from. Mhm. Read through the comments and you'll see it. Um, and yes, we do know. Mhm. I will just put Jennifer up in response to that. Says moons, very interesting. So it appears that someone who has used that alias in the past is inserting themselves in another lawsuit. Mhm. That's what it appears like. Uh, refute what I'm saying. Refute what I'm saying. It would be circumstantial, at least coincidental, at best. MJE says Teddy and all. Wow, just wow. So the person using the alias called down to the courthouse to get information about the fake calls they made. The someone told me again, yeah, that line, or someone on the behalf of the person using that alias called on her behalf. I mean, look at that. Digital footprints. Didn't know that someone like an old lady, as I've been called, might just have a receipt with the same name. How coincidental? I mean, how could an old lady in a shoe, didn't have any children, didn't know what to do? No, that's not how the poem goes. I know, Jennifer. I wish McClurg was still here to see this. She knew, like Hear Her TV knew, that one day maybe something she said would be the truth. Not saying everything that we all say is the truth, but maybe something would come back. Cups of conversations. Notice how everyone connected to that person always says, someone told me. Never a name, just a person always giving them info. Mm. LPs are logged every single time. The court keeps everything. Yes, McClurg would say, Rico. And believe it or not, that individual's laughing. And I remember what they said when the news came in about McClurg. Sharon's Kitchen says, when someone realizes they are not as smart as they thought they were. It's very possible. It is highly possible. I can tell you that a digital record was created to a very important agency or source. Cups of conversation. So Macy showed up in somebody else's case. The call can be obtained through FOIA. Mm. You can get the call recording. Mm. Cups of conversations. From what at Moon said, that person has also been mentioned in a lawsuit Maggie has against someone else. Wow. So there there you got a little connection. Hmm. Imagine becoming a criminal to be a YouTuber. I just don't know. I'm not saying everything because I don't know all these different people. So I'm not making any allegations. But what I can tell you, someone used Maggie's, let's just say there's something legal. Okay. And a name of Macy Thomas showed up. I showed you. It's a coincidence. Number 3760 that a Macy Thomas shows up in both Teddy and Maggie's cases when both are in litigation with DR. Interesting. Yep, class of 2020, the COVID class. Yeah. You have the receipts of them making of a troll farm. In other words, the making of a troll farm. Mm-hmm. Vicky Black says, I'm a freshman too. Speak it. Mm-hmm. The class of 2020 is about to make one heck of a comeback. It's like first-time voters in 2024 didn't know about Trump and what he did from 2015, 2020. A good analogy. We've been around, we know. Analyze this mess because someone has to say it, and maybe we're saying it this morning. And maybe there will be some quiet music tonight. Everyone's so gullible now. Yeah, put us on the big screen. Yeah. I'm just quickly going through. So I don't have to, yeah, maybe I won't miss anything. Sharon, Hear is getting so much redemption on a few things coming out. Yes. I'm just kind of popping these up on the screen real quick. You know, this is someone's story I know very little about. I haven't been following the eval story. I can tell that something is chaotic about it. Something about it leaves me that impression that it is so chaotic. But I don't know what that is, really. Follow the money. I said before, there are a many people on this app who will do a whole lot for a little bit of money. Yeah, smooth music. Cups of conversation. Hear her tells Teddy Nosy. In Cups, we was just before our time. But when you build a house of lies like people have built, the truth will come out and all of us will be redeemed when it all falls down. Yeah. My, Freebird Lee. Under the tree. Just finished watching your last video. Rico MJE. Shell games and shell corporations anonymity is the reason why they registered in Delaware and then in Wyoming. I can tell you, apart from DR, there's another entity that has been talked about that registered in Delaware and coincidentally registered in Wyoming. How does that happen? It's like follow the leader, maybe? Is that a coincidence? I mean, out of all the different registered agents that are in the United States, why do some of the same entities follow the same registered agents? There's a receipt for that too. Preach, Troll Farm. Yes. The judge. Tactics. Yes. Just throwing some up so I can get to the bottom. We've got Plotter who comes in and says, hello, everyone. Did I miss it? Yeah, you missed something. Yeah, because we're getting ready to say goodbye or good afternoon. Yeah, that's the last one. Check on Wine with Teddy's community wall for updates and any changes. And thanks, chat, for your support. But now it is time to say goodbye. Yeah. All right. That's it for me. Biggest bear hugs go out to each and every one of you, the Grizzlies and the Honey Bears. Please hit the like on your way out and join me sometime. If I come back later tonight, it will be relaxing. It's Sunday night. Don't know what's ahead for Monday or the next week. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm Teddy. Goodbye and have a great afternoon.